So once we are coming to audit documentation, some of the companies, some of the audit firms, right, introduce the tools for documentation. Some of the documents we can generate from the system itself, and then some of the documents they have kind of a templates. Some of the documents they have set of checklist, so that understanding the business we have a checklist. For kind of a inventory procedures we have a checklist, and work done for cash and cash equivalent we have a checklist. So then for legal and regulation checklist you have a separate documentation for that. Likewise, some of the documents we can generate from the system itself. So then we have many advantages once we are having this kind of a setup. So then we can easily review, and then errors are very less, right? We can easily review the clear documentation, very neat documentation, and then the time saving. We can summarize, we can analyze information very smart manner, right? So then these are the basic benefits of automated documentation. Some of the documents, standard documents, we no need to bring to the client place. We can do that in the office, the head office location, right? Virtually we can work with this system generated documentation. It's very easy to transfer for audit reviews, right? So then it's ensure the consistency. So then this year to next year, audit manager to manager. So then we can have kind of a comparability, having kind of a system automated audit working papers, right? So then the way we are doing analysis, variance analysis, and then the tick mark explanation. So then references, we are using common format. So then that will ensure the comparability as well. So then these are the basic advantage of having system generated template type documents. So as a audit firm, as a audit manager, or they can lead, they can guide to the audit team members who use whatever the advanced technological system generated documents for their audit documentation. Definitely it will ensure the audit quality of the audit planning, audit execution, and the audit reporting aspect. So then we can focus about audit retention period. So then as per the auditing standard audit 230, so then we have to keep audit evidence minimum 5 years. So then that's based on the significance of the audit related evidence, and that's according to the individual audit firm practice and the policy, right? So then that based on the global requirement and local regulatory requirement. So then keeping this audit evidence ensure their validity of validity of audit evidence, audit opinion, right? So then after issuing the audit opinion, we should have proper strong kind of a support to address that to whatever the situation. To do that, we have to keep past audit evidence, and we need to have archival centers. If we are using e-format, whatever the servers we are keeping, we need to have backups. So whatever the documents we are keeping, එතකොට අපි audit save කරනවා නම් අපි ඒකේ e-format එක save කරලා තියෙන්න ඕන. එතකොට කියන්නේ audit file එකක් regulator hari whatever the review, whatever the third party ඉල්ලනකොට අපි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ඒක provide කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා. එතකොට අපි save කරලා තියෙන්න ඕන. අපිට කියන්න බෑ audit file එක ඉල්ලනකොට ඒ file එක නැති වෙලා. ඒ file එක අපි මේ servers වල දාලා තිබුණේ servers වලින් delete වෙලා කියලා කියන්න බෑ. So then we should have a backup plan for that as well, right? So that's the basic requirements of from the standard, and that depends on the audit firm policy with the global requirements and the local requirement. That's the basic understanding. Is basic requirement is it should be less than 5 years. Keep in mind that. So then we have discussed about importance of documentation and what are the key factors impact to the documentation, and then what are the key elements, permanent file, and then the current year audit file, and then hard copy file, and then e-formats. Further we discuss about automated system generated audit working papers and advantages over there, and then the file retention period. So then all those things we discuss here, and further actually I wanted to highlight some of other areas. According to a study guide, it discusses about examples for working papers. So then already we have all the things we covered, right? Legal documents, board minutes, and industry data, the information about internal control manuals, procedure manuals, right? We have already discussed all those things. Here they have discussed about transaction and balances analysis, significant ratio and trend analysis, nature, time and extent of audit procedures, and then the confirmations and agreements and final copies of audit reports, whatever the communication, expert opinion, internal auditors evidence. So then all those things can be part of audit file, right? So then you can read through the study guide, as well as you can go to the 230 auditing standard. Is not a detailed auditing standard, so then you can read whole audit standard and can understand this concept again. Further, I want to highlight that I want to share that some of the audit evidence, how we are going to document. I have already discussed all those things. Now I am going to summarize all those things here. So then here we have kind of a combined risk assessment documentation, right? So then as we discuss, we are doing combined risk assessment for the individual accession level for each and every disclosure, related party, fair value, segment, disclosures are there, and then balances are there, right? And then once we are coming to walkthrough, you can go through the flow chart, right? Flow chart, this is a walkthrough we have done for payroll, right? So then all the process, critical path should be documented, right? And then we are having notes here. So then related to the process, we should have a proper notes and descriptions, and then after having that understanding, the walkthrough, you have to document the controls. This is kind of a control mapping, right? So then according to this control mapping, you can identify what are the critical controls, right? So then you can do TOC, test of controls. I will show a test of control working later. So then here we have some of the substantive procedures workings, right? So then here we have substantive procedures working for cash and cash equivalent, right? So then account balance is cash and cash equivalent, see, and then we have CRA, materiality levels, and related audit procedures are there. Here the audit procedures and with the relevant accessions, right? So then here we have the audit working paper, sheets. So then audit documents consist with different sheets. So then that may be summary sheets and lead sheets and sub-leads. Sub-lead may be consist with GL accounts, right? So then this is the total. Cash and cash equivalent consist with OD balances and OD balances and favorable balances. Altogether we can say that cash and cash equivalent, right? So then nature of the accounts. Each and every accounts we have given the nature, and then so then here we have documented what are the bank accounts and then what are the steps we have performed. So then here we have given the tick marks, references. After putting this mark, right, this mark, bank reconciliation prepared timely basis, we have checked. Bank statement balance has been correctly taken to the reconciliation. So then all the bank account we have tested this, right. So likewise we can do the proper documentation. These are example. So then you all can decide what you have to do. So then here we have a kind of a confirmation log, GL balance, bank balance, confirmation balance, right. Differences 0, right. So likewise this is a kind of a audit documentation, documented audit file for cash and bank. So then if we move forward, if we go to a kind of a audit working paper for property, plant and equipment. So these are the areas, right. Here we have the work done. So then see combined risk assessment, materiality levels, right. So then we have the audit that lead sheet, current year balance and the last year balance, right. And then here we have the related notes. So then sub lead, right. So then each and every GL wise sub lead we have, and then the depreciation policy. Clearly the percentage and the useful lifetime for each and every category. A category ekata policies mention කරලා තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපි depreciation කොහොමද calc කරලා තියෙන්නේ කියන එක. Independently depreciate calc කරලා තියෙන්නේ කොහොමද. ඊට පස්සේ addition වලට කොහොමද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. Addition check කරන්න කොහොමද check කරලා තියෙන්නේ කියන එක. ඒක addition vouch කරනවා නම් මේ addition vouch කරපු sheet එක addition වලින් sample එකක් select කරලා payment voucher date, check number, bank statement date, authorized date, all the things we have checked. And then insurance coverage, right, insurance coverage. And then if we are having IP, separate working paper, investment property. Likewise this is the basic format of a audit working paper. So then this is a format of audit working paper of a substantive procedures, right. Basically these are the documents I wanted to show you all. So then I have removed sensitive information and I have changed the related names, and I wanted to display these things for the educational purpose. Actually this is the way we are documenting. So then need to highlight that having a proper documentation, it will help to the auditor to give their opinion, make their opinion very strong way. So then having proper set of audit documentation, whatever the possible challenge in future, we can easily face. Any challenge, any argument for audit conclusion, we can directly face and we can prove our audit opinion. So that is the basic understanding and basic requirement of audit documentation. And further, as I previously said, it's part of audit quality. So then if you want to deliver a quality audit, audit documentation is part of that. So then whatever the audit procedure you perform, from planning, execution and conclusion, all the things, all the critical things should be documented. So then that documentation should be communicate to a other party, other third party having proper knowledge. That's important thing. So then අපි audit documents කරන එක ඕනම කෙනෙක්ට තේරුම් ගන්න බැරි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So that a person who are having audit knowledge should understand. So that's a requirement, right? So then those are the key elements I wanted to discuss with you about audit documentation. And in future aspects we are having very minimal things to discuss in other sections. I will show that kind of a test of control working as well. Today I discuss about benefit of audit documentation, and then importance and the key factors, and then what are the examples, audit filing process and automated audit documentation, and what are the advantages of automated audit documentation, and further I share some of the example working papers, right? So then with this understanding I will expect that you are having proper understanding about audit documentation. Thank you.